managing your expectations. Let's take a look at what are we going to do this afternoon. But before we do the afternoon session, let's recap what we went through this morning. So this morning, we noticed, we elicited, and we drew out that we have 243 years of experience in the room. Wait, 243 years and 5 months of experience in the room. And very common in terms of people handling concerns. We have, what is common? Dealing with the tenured ones, dealing with millennials, dealing with attitude concerns, dealing with bosses, dealing with friends, dealing with people below. So we started by determining the point of view and the perspective of the people we handle. Earlier, we had what we call as the chair exercise. We saw that if you belong to a different side, you see different perspectives. Some see 3 legs, some see 2 legs, some see 1 leg, but not all of us see 4. So at the end of the people handling skills course, our intent is to be able to ikot, and our intent is to be able to see the perspective of the other, which we did. We took a look at our concerns with our people, but we also saw what their concerns were with us. Based on our discussion this morning, we saw that one of the greatest, if not the greatest motivator of all, is when people feel important, appreciated, and valued. That's why the Dear Supervisor letter drew that out. At the end of the day, what they want is to feel important, whether it has to do with calling the attention, but balancing it by looking at it also in the area of what they did right. So we mentioned that there are 3 major parts of the course. The first major part of the course is we're taking a look at the why. And the why is the one that tells us, bago maging gawa, kailangan paniniwala. So we want to take a look first at the mindset. Before, in the people handling skills, before we teach you how to handle people, we'll take a look first at what is the mindset that we should have in relation to handling people. So, we mentioned that when we go higher in the ladder, the skill that is required of us changes. When we are in a non-supervisory position, the skill that is required of us is technical. And remember, we defined it. Technical means you produce results by yourself. But this is where the complication begins. And a number of us rose from the ranks, myself included. Why does the complication begin here? Because a number of us are used to doing it ourselves. Technical. But we go higher in the organization. We are now what? Supervisory level. When we go higher, the amount of technical skills when we go higher lessens. But what is it that we need to do in a higher level? It is now called behavioral science. And remember, behavioral science is people handling skills or doing things now through others. In short, when we go higher in the organization, we cease to focus only on technical. What we want to do is to do things, get results through others. And we do that through the people handling skills course. But wait, we go higher in the organization, the skill that is required of us further changes focus. From technical to behavioral science to conceptual. Achieving results through conceptual means. Conceptual means such as planning, problem solving, analysis, justification, budgeting. That becomes our job when we go higher. But when we go even higher in the organization, what is pronounced in the highest level? It's called personal skills. And personal skills means you produce results by being visible. Because visibility motivates. And that's why our bosses do MBWA. And what is that? I know. They manage by walking around. And they check and they check and they check. Now, we left for lunch, but before we did, we tackled one of the most important whys in the course. And what is that? Expanding our comfort zones.